What's good? We are back again for another video, y'all. Listen, I usually do these, y'all know, my ride to work random ramblings, and I be on my way to work in the mornings, but I said fuck that shit. I'm gonna just do it different today. Okay, so listen, I wanted to talk to y'all. I want to get in on this shit, man. Okay, on the shit, some of the shit that's just been floating around lately. You know, what the fuck, hot topics as of late and shit. And so if I'm looking, let me just put this out here, y'all. If I'm looking, and y'all might hear my windshield wipers, but it is what it is. If I'm looking a little bit greasy, it's because it's hot as a fuck in this car. Okay, and but it's raining outside, and I don't want to put my window down because it's raining. Okay, so just bear with me, y'all, because the shit I want to talk about is more important than the motherfucking background noise. So first, R. Kelly. Okay, R. Kelly gave us a lot of music, you know, good music in the 90s and everything, back from even when he was with Public Announcement. He really hit us off with some classics, okay? But the nigga is fucked up. It's just as simple as that. Like, I don't have any proof, but I'm very much a proponent of where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just don't think, it's been telltale signs along the way. And I know I didn't pay no attention to much of this shit, but it's been shit that has happened over the years to say, yeah, this motherfucker might be a freakazoid. Okay, first of all, let's start with, okay, this bus ain't gonna turn, the light green. Let's start with, damn motherfucker. Excuse me, y'all. See, the bus ain't turned in time. Now I can't turn. But let's go back to 12 Play for a second. Okay. The whole album itself was sex music. Okay. Bump and grind. Seems Like You're Ready. Honey, all that shit. Honey Love. I don't think Honey Love was on. Honey Love wasn't on 12 Play. I don't think. Even if it was, it is what it is. Excuse me. All that shit was sex music. Okay. Absolutely nothing wrong with sex music. Okay. But also on the noise y'all hear is the college students crossing the street in front of me. But he had a fucking intermission on that album called I Like the Crotch on You. Now, I didn't think nothing of it at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I was young as shit. I didn't give a fuck about that shit. All I wanted to know was what song was going to be playing at the school dance. Okay? What R. Kelly cut was going to be playing at the school dance. I ain't give a fuck. But for you to have a intermission on your album called I Like the Crotch on You, I mean, what the fuck, right? What the fuck, right? And then, you know, it was later on, it was some rumblings of him and Aaliyah being married. I still to this day don't believe that they were really married. I just think that R. Kelly, because of his impeccable writing capabilities, his songwriting capabilities, he took that and used that as leverage to get close to Aaliyah. And you know, maybe it was like some shady shit going on where they was messing with each other and it was like about to get out or something. I don't know what the fuck. I'm just trying to rationalize it in my mind, and this is nothing, I'm just speculating. But I don't think they were really married. I just think that that was just something concocted to cover up what he was doing with her. But let's keep in mind though, Aaliyah was, her debut album released in 94. Her debut album released in 94. And by then, R. Kelly was heavy in the game. R. Kelly had already been doing shit. Okay, so, and on the Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, on the album cover, you see him in the background with his shades, leaning against the wall. Okay? Looked like he was creeping. So I wasn't paying attention to the shit, like I said, because I was young as a motherfucker too, and I just thought the music was good. I liked listening to the music. I loved R. Kelly. I definitely loved Aaliyah, so I wasn't paying attention. But then now that it's been decades later and all of this shit is coming out about R. Kelly, it doesn't really surprise me. It's disappointing, okay, because R. Kelly was like the 90s motherfucking nigga, okay, when it came to that that type of music, okay? But I don't know, man. He just is who the fuck he is, and that just goes back to what I was talking about in some videos ago about putting people on pedestals, because it's a lot of people, you know, that just are irrational when it comes to these celebrities, and they are stans, and they just take the shit to a whole nother level, and they just for some reason can't fathom this celebrity doing this, that, or the other. But they human just like everybody the fuck else is, okay? They do fucked up shit, okay? Motherfucking Fabulous and Emily B, okay? I mean, they regular ass people. They just, Fabulous is just famous. Emily B was on hip hop, but they are regular ass fucking people with money, okay? And when I say regular ass people, I just mean like they're not above the shit that plagues us, you know? They're not above shit like mental illness. They're not above motherfucking contracting diseases. They're not above none of that, okay? So it doesn't surprise me. And we can't forget about the tape of him pissing on a little girl, okay? It doesn't surprise me. So I just really think that this motherfucker, just like anybody else, needs to be held accountable for the shit that he's doing. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, I mean, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like Bill Cosby, I never had any sort of reverence for Bill Cosby, the man, like William H. Cosby. I never had any reverence for him. I was enamored by Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable and Mrs. Claire Huxtable, okay? Because I mean, who wasn't? You know what I'm saying? They had the Cosby Show was an absolute masterpiece of a show, and I still to this day love that show. Like when I'm chilling in the house on a weekend, and well, the fuck, it ain't on TV now, but when it was, I would watch it back to back because I loved the show. It had nothing to do with Bill Cosby, the man himself, okay? And I mean, he, from my understanding, he was a huge proponent of education, and all of these universities and shit gave him all these honorary doctorate degrees and shit because he had this image, you know. But that shit was an image. That shit was an image. So and now everybody's stripping everything from them and taking everything from them, and so it just is what it is at this point. But it's disappointing, because he had established such a legacy, and now it's just all torn to shit. But he did it. He did it. It's not like nobody framed him. Didn't nobody set him up or nothing like that. And I know it's been this, that, and the other floating around about what could have been and what wasn't and what is and all of that. But he said it. Okay? And so did OJ. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you where the priorities are placed in this country. You know what I mean? This country puts such a huge value on how you look and how you show up in a room and how you can present yourself. But very seldom are we really hearing stories about who these celebrities really are, because we see them at the Met Gala. Okay, we see them on the red carpets, and we see all of this shit. But this is smoke and mirrors. They show us what they want us to see. That's why it's up to us to research and find shit out for ourselves. It's so, and researching nowadays ain't shit. You know, that shit is at the tip of your fucking fingers. You can Google, just type shit in. Okay, that's all you have to do, and everything will pop up. So there's no excuse nowadays to be ignorant. Ignorance, I feel like ignorance is at will. You're ignorant because you want to be. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know something. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, you don't know. But it's your responsibility to find out. Okay? And that's it about that shit, right? Next, let's talk about Donald Glover's video, This Is America. I thought this shit was remarkable. I think, not even past, like, I thought it when I saw it, and I still think it now. Because I watched it a couple of times. But that video is so poignant in so many ways that I had to keep watching it. Because when I first watched it the first time, I knew it was something. I knew there was some sort of common through line, okay, that had to do with the state of race relations and pop culture, okay? But I couldn't put it together. And then I started seeing things popping up, like on my timelines and on my all my social media feeds, that were bringing it together for me. And then here we go again, Google. I just Googled the minstrel show, okay? And basically what Donald Glover did in that 4 minutes is gave us damn near a century of a history lesson in 4 fucking minutes. Not even a century. I mean, because the century is the span of time in the 1800s when the minstrel show was a thing. Okay, because that shit went all the way back to when white people were in blackface, basically as caricatures of us, and did that shit for entertainment. Okay, all the way up through how it led into the makings of what's it called, vaudeville. Okay, so that was like 100-year time period, just about. But then he also He bust that shit wide open. That's all I'm gonna say. He bust that shit wide open and brought it all the way back, okay, to what's going on in the present day. Like all that, like these church shootings, how people not sanctify, how people praise these guns and gun people out here going crazy over gun rights and shit. And y'all, I'm just saying, I spend a lot of time watching documentaries and shit and reading different shit, and like it's so much shit I can't retain it all, but I do retain some of it. And everything that was encompassed in Donald Glover's video, you know what I mean, it just had me thinking about our timeline throughout history as black people. And I thought about how, okay, these motherfucking schools, so-called schools, don't be teaching our babies no real history. They touch on the civil rights movement, okay, but it ain't start there. How about the motherfucking how about the French Revolution, the slave rebellion and shit, the first successful slave rebellion and shit, and the man, you know what I mean? What about that shit? Like, our history did not start with the civil rights movement. And I'm just saying, like, that was a blip in the time period of our history and culture in this country. And it just fucks me up that, but no, they be lying to our kids. And I'm finding that as an adult, I'm having to go back and relearn all this shit, okay? And I'm having to supplement what my daughter is learning with the truth, okay? So I'd be like, you know, and then I think about integration that happened during that civil rights era, okay? And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've heard a lot of different opinions about the Donald Glover video, saying, you know, it's too violent. I don't want to see you know, black people, a black man getting shot and this, that, and the other. But that shit is real, okay? And I'm saying, like, my thing is, put it in their face, because motherfuckers don't think shit stink until somebody smear it on their motherfucking nose and it get on their lip a little bit, right? So what I was saying was, like, it's integration. I think about integration because of all the blood that was shed and all that shit that happened. Like, what if y'all ever think about this? Like, what if Nat Turner had a Snapchat? What if Dr. King had a Snapchat? Okay? What if they had, like, Facebook Live and shit? Okay? Ain't nothing changed. Like, the same shit that was happening then is happening now. It's just we have conduits, I guess you could say. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, what if Emmett Till's family down south, what if they had Facebook Live when that Bryant motherfucker came to his folks' house and basically accosted that boy, and that child met his fate that night? What if that family was able to stream that shit on Facebook Live? You think that would have made a difference in an all-white fucking jury letting that motherfucker off? That shit wouldn't have made no fucking difference. Just because we got that shit on tape now, that shit don't make no difference. And I'm gonna tell you something. I understand integration, because it is like, okay, just because my face is black, that don't mean I can't be in the same place as white faces. Okay, why should that why should the fact that my face is black have anything to do with what establishment I can patronize, what bathroom I can go take a piss, what water fountain I can use, what school I can go to, right? So I get it, right? But what I'm saying is, like, the presence of black faces does not mean equality. It just doesn't. Because I'm gonna tell you something. By the time shit was integrated, and the Brown versus Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas, by the time all of that shit happened, the systems, the power structure and the power dynamic was already set in place, and that shit was not gonna budge, because all that shit that was happening was motherfucking endorsed and sanctioned by the US government. Okay, so I understand taking steps and saying, man, fuck this shit, I'm gonna rage against the machine and I'm gonna change this shit for the better of my people. I understand that. I get it. Okay, and who knows, like, maybe Dr. King had plans to I'm sure he had plans to see this shit through. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, you know, integration and shit like that was all he was trying to accomplish. I don't think that was just his end goal. You know what I'm saying? Because he was very much a visionary leader, but we'll never know that, because he was assassinated. So we'll never know. Okay. But all I'm saying is, you know, people still are shocked and appalled by, you know, motherfucking George Zimmermans, okay, still walking around. And the Bryant, the Carolyn Bryant lady that started the fucking shit, her ass came back how many years later, 50 some years later, talking about she was lying and shit. And it's like, that shit doesn't, and nothing happened to her. That doesn't surprise. I think she passed away. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she passed away. But these people are getting acquitted, and they're not being held accountable, because what the fuck? They've never been held accountable. And it don't make no difference that we heard the tapes of Trayvon Martin hollering and screaming. It don't make no difference that we saw Alton Sterling on the ground being shot. You know what I'm saying? It don't make a difference. It don't make a difference that we saw the cops with Eric Garner in a chokehold, and he was saying, I can't fucking breathe. It does not make a difference. Clearly it doesn't make a difference. And this shit, I'm just saying this, like, because I hear a lot of people all the time talking about, you know, damn, it's on tape, and they still ain't. Man, listen, Rodney King was on tape. If you want to talk about tape, Rodney King was on tape. It does not make a difference. It doesn't make a difference, because it's not about somebody getting off or whatever have you. It's about the fact that this motherfucking country, the way it's set up, it's not for us. Okay? it's not for us. It's not for us. Okay? And I don't know, y'all. It just gets so, it's so heartbreaking, because our babies are dying, our kids are dying, you know, and there's so much infighting, you know, we fight so hard amongst ourselves. And I was shout out to Erica De Niro. I was watching one of her videos and earlier today, and I just appreciated it, because she said, you know, a lot of what I think about a lot is the fact that, you know, I want to be able to generate conversation. Like, I don't put these videos out because I want an amen corner. I want people to talk, and I want people to be able to put their perspectives out there respectfully, okay, and not be so offended all the time when, you know, somebody don't necessarily agree with what you have to say, and or whatever have you. So yeah, that's all I'm saying, y'all. I'm almost home, and I'm hungry as shit. I'm hungry, and so I'm gonna go in the crib, and I'm going to rustle up something to eat, okay? And I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in, clicking on the video, supporting the channel and everything. This shit is a journey. It is not a destination. Keep that in mind, okay? I'm keeping that in mind. And shout out to S. Hutchinson, okay? She be dropping gems, okay? And I appreciate that, okay? So, because it's people, I don't know, just in my little piece of time being on YouTube, just over a year now, I just see how messy shit can get. So it's always good to come across like genuine perspectives and genuine folk who just put they shit out there, okay, and just let that shit be what it is. So yeah, S. Hutchinson, Erica De Niro, Lady Nika, Ramblin' K, Delisa, Kid of the King. These are all people who in some way, shape, or form have supported me, watch my videos, comment on my videos. And I know I'm probably leaving somebody out, but y'all know I have to get better with this, like with structuring my videos and taking notes. But sometimes that just takes the spontaneity out of my production process, like how I'm creating. So a lot of times I'll just go off the cuff and not really think too much about it. But I don't know, maybe I'll put some more energy into being a little bit more structured. But it just is what it is. And so yeah, y'all, I will holler back at y'all ASAP. All right, y'all.